You're listening to the Your Story Within podcast with Dr. Janine Bennett, a writing coach and author with 5 published books to her name and a few more in the works. Through this podcast, Dr. Bennett aims to help listeners tell their story within and shares all the industry secrets of self-publishing and book marketing. And now, here's your host, Dr. Janine Bennett.
Hello, friends. Today's show is about dealing with author hurdles. I wrote my first book in 2019, Broken to Beautiful. Brokenness is not the end of your story. As I've shared in previous episodes, the book was stuck in my head for nearly 20 years. I attempted to write the book on several different occasions, but I couldn't tell the story the way it needed to be told. Finally, in 2019, the breakthrough came, and I wrote that book in less than a month. Amazing, right? Of course, writing the book was not the end of the process. I discovered 5 very challenging and eye-opening truths when the manuscript was done. The workload didn't stop when the manuscript was done with the first thing. I still had to edit it, publish it, market it. At least I already had the cover design for it, or that would have been on my list of things to do as well. So let's discuss the workload. If you plan to self-publish, as I did, you are in charge of every detail regarding your book. Think of it this way. You're a project manager, okay? And you have to take a project from inception to completion, okay? Except the project in this case is your book. You have to take your book from the time that you sit down to write it all the way to the point where you get it into readers' hands, okay? You need to create, publish, and market it. The goal is to get it into the hands of readers. All right. I will do another episode on finding your target readers. But today, the focus is on another reality, and that's understanding some of the hurdles you're going to need to overcome as a writer if you want to continue towards the path of becoming an author. Okay? It would be best if you also determined who those readers are. Friends, take that part seriously. When I first started writing, I'm like, well, everybody could be a potential reader. No, not everybody wants to read my book, and not everybody's going to want to read your book. You have to be specific, or you're going to miss out on opportunities to reach people and find your true audience, and you're just going to find yourself disappointed. So again, we're going to talk about that a little bit later, and I'll delve even deeper in a future episode. But for now, be thinking about who your readers are. That's part of your workload. That's part of how are you going to reach people once that book is done, edited, and published. All right. So the workload is significant is the point here. Editing, you can hand off to someone. You can hire a professional to edit your book. There's no problem with that. I do that. And that makes it, easier, takes a little bit of time off your plate, right? Using publishing platforms aren't difficult either. Kindle publishing, the self-publishing through Kindle is pretty easy as well. No major issues there. It's kind of step-by-step process, so no major issues, as are some of the what they call going wide platforms like Draft to Digital and Ingram Spark and some of those others. That's pretty easy. But marketing, friends, marketing is very time-consuming. And the reason for that is you always have to market. It's a constant thing. It's not a one and done. In order to break through the noise and reach those people who really want to read your book, you have to find them. And the only way to find them is to market to them. I wish someone would have told me how much of a time investment was required to market my book effectively. I would still do it, don't get me wrong, but at least I would have been prepared for it. I had no idea how much time was going to be involved going into that process. Okay. You can hire companies to help market your book, but that comes with a price. Go for it. If you have the allocated resources set aside for such an endeavor, do it. If not, there are plenty of ways to market your book, which I will share shortly. But first, I want to talk about another important challenge that authors face that can be really, really tough. And it's getting reviews. Friends, did you know that reviews don't just magically appear after you write your book? Oh, and just because someone tells you they love your book, they've read it, they love it, and they're going to give you a review, doesn't mean they're actually going to follow through with what they said they're going to do. Now, they're not being mean friends. They're really not. It just falls under the category of behavioral intention. We all intend to do good things. We all intend to follow through on what we say we're going to do. But sometimes things happen, like life, unexpected things, and we just forget. I'm just as guilty as everyone else. I became an official blogger for an awesome publicity group called Celebrate Lit to ensure I followed through on giving reviews. I don't want to be that person who intends to give a review but doesn't follow through. So to keep me accountable, I became an official blogger so that this way I can get books that I enjoy reading, and then I'm also on the hook to provide a review, my honest review. Okay, I don't get paid for that or anything like that. It's just something I like to do, and it's holding me accountable. I have found personally that to get reviews, you have to stop asking family and friends. It's good for the first book, you need a little help. But truth be told, sites like Amazon will delete those in most cases anyway. They're really cracking down with algorithms on connections. So if they see, say, through social media that you're connected with others on a regular basis, I have actually had Amazon go back through my reviews and remove some. So it's better to just reach outside your inner circle anyway and find your potential readers. If you've never published a book, go outside the circle. Friends, I add pages in my books that simply ask for a review. This one is an author note. I don't know if you can see that there. Sometimes I'll just say give a review or leave a review. I have found that simply asking is enough. Sometimes, as a reader is really impressed with your book or what they've read, they want to give a review. So adding a page in my book to remind them helps. If you have an ebook, add a link so that they can click the link while they're in the book and go right to the review platform, whether it's Amazon or another site. They can do it right then and there while they're still holding your book. Okay. And it just makes it easy. If it's in the moment, they're more inclined to do it. So you have to just make it easy for them, friends. Another thing you can do is do a book tour. This way, bloggers can sign up to review your book, like I said I do with the company Celebrate Lit. I pick books that I want to read that seem interesting to me, and then I provide an honest review. And I don't have to provide reviews on a bunch of platforms. I pick the platforms I choose to review on. I'll do Amazon, I'll do Goodreads, I'll do a couple of other different sites. You can do the same thing. You can pick where you want to do it through, like I said, some sort of book tour. There's lots of companies out there. If you're a Christian author, Celebrate Lit is an awesome one to do a book tour with. But there's many out there. You can do an internet search to find them. Another thing I like to do is join groups on book-centric sites. Like I mentioned, Goodreads. That is a wonderful site because it allows you to join groups. So then I will join different groups that are in line with my particular genre. I do a lot of women Bible studies. So I'll join different Christian groups and ask fellow group members if they'd be willing to review my book and give me an honest review of what they read. Another way to reach readers with your book is to give it away for free. I know. You paused right there, didn't you? Give it away for free. Yes, free. When my author mentor told me that, I thought, surely I didn't hear her. She just told me to give away the book that I spent so much time and effort writing, tears even, with this book, and she's telling me to give it away for free. I don't know if I can do that. But friends, let me tell you, freebies, people like free stuff. People like free stuff. Free is not all bad. Okay, here's why. Free is actually good. If you're a first-time author, nobody knows who you are. So by giving your book away for free, say on Kindle Unlimited, then people are more willing to read it. If you're afraid to give it away for free, offer it for 99 cents. Okay. People are more willing to pay 99 cents for a book by an author they've never heard of than $9.99 or $12.99 or whatever, price some more prominent authors, charge, because they have the larger audience. But here's the thing, 99 cents for your book to 1,000 people, that's $1,000, versus nothing, because nobody knows who you are, no one. So freebies are not bad, or low price. Okay, I'll tell you, here's what I do. I typically give away my ebook free for 1 or 2 weeks at the beginning of a launch. Once I've written additional books in a series, then I will actually make the first book permanently free, meaning I don't ever charge for it. And then people can sign up for my newsletter based off of my website maybe, and get that book for free all the time. I have found that more people actually purchased my book, paid for the paperback version when I started offering it for free. So don't be afraid of free, friends. In fact, I discovered, because I do Bible studies, a lot of people would do the ebook version, and then they would go online and order the paperback as a gift for friends, or they would order the paperback so that they could actually have the book on hand to review scriptures and to go through things again. So it was there in physical form for them. They didn't have to keep going through the ebook. So sometimes, free is really good. So try it. Don't be afraid of it. Okay. The other thing I wanted to discuss today is marketing. I know I touched on it. I know I said I'd move towards it. As previously stated, publishing your book doesn't mean you're done. Okay. You still have to market it. And you can take out ads on Amazon, Facebook, Google, and the like to market your book. I have done that many times, but I'll tell you, here's my favorite thing to do: multi-author group promos. This is where several authors join together to promote each other's books as part of a larger group for a period of time. I love to use BookFunnels, and I'm going to bring that up on the screen. Let me get that right now so you can see what I'm talking about here. So let's see here. So I joined this particular multi-author group promo, and I think this one has 28 other authors, maybe 26. But here you go. Here's my first book. And if you click on it, what happens is it opens up to this other page, and you can actually click on Get My Book. And there it is. So you can see it. I won't actually get my book right now, but there you go. So easy to do. And this is again through BookFunnel. I love BookFunnel. It's one of my favorite sources to use. I do lots of group promotions through it. I do it for sales as well as for building my newsletter. Okay, so BookFunnel. As I mentioned previously, doing a book tour through a publicity company like Celebrate Lit is a great way to build awareness. I'm going to talk more about marketing in a future episode, but those are just two of the ways that I do things. I take out ads on Amazon, Facebook, Google, and then I do multi-author group promotions. Now let's talk about audience. All right. Speaking of audience, building an audience takes time. You have to find your readers so they know you even exist. If you don't find the right readers who are going to actually read your book, then all of your effort is for naught. You can have the greatest book in the world, but if nobody actually reads it, then it's for naught. Okay, that's just the truth. So the truth is, you will not become a success overnight. You have to work at it. I mean, I'm sure we could find internet sensational stories that tell us that somebody made millions off their first book, but without digging and knowing what I know right now, yeah, you're not going to become an overnight success. So just focus on what you can do to keep moving forward and grow your audience. So again, multi-author group promos are a great way for building newsletters for readers interested in your books. You can also speak at events where your readers attend. In my case, church retreats, women's Christian focused conferences and stuff like that are perfect venues for me. So you need to figure out, where can you speak? Perhaps your book would be great at one of the local bookstores. Could be a large one, could be one of the smaller ones. There's lots of small, nice bookstores in various cities that offer awesome opportunities for authors to showcase their book and meet people. You can also join social media groups that relate to your genre. I belong to several Christian groups because I write Bible studies. So on Facebook, I belong to a lot of different groups, and as well as other channels like LinkedIn and whatnot. Okay. You can also enlist the help of others to grow your presence. Some authors form what they call specialized groups. Some call them street teams, some call them launch teams. I've heard beta readers, I've heard ARC readers. These are all people willing to help you promote your book, okay? They typically get the book in advance for review, and then when the book is published, they post reviews early to help you build awareness. It's a pretty cool process. And again, I'm going to do a separate episode on all of the topics I talked about so I can delve deeper on each one individually. But to recap, friends, so that's all I wanted to share today. So to recap, some author hurdles to be prepared for are workload. The workload can be daunting. So just set your mind to be prepared, knowing that it's going to take time and effort to do what you need to do. So just be aware of that. The review challenge. Don't get disappointed when people don't start giving you reviews immediately. Not everyone who reads your book will leave a review. It's just the fact. It's just the fact of the matter. They just won't. But there are plenty of ways to get reviews, as I mentioned. Okay. Don't be afraid of offering your book for free. Even if it's for a limited time, you can do it for a week. You don't have to do it forever if you don't want. But people like free, friends, and it just opens the door to people finding out who you are. Okay. Marketing options. There's many ways to market your books. There's not one single way that works for every single person. Okay. So market your book in a way that feels comfortable to you. Okay. And then audience building. You will not be an overnight success, but you can grow your audience one step at a time. There's various ways to do it, as I discussed. And friends, again, I'm going to delve deeper into every one of those topics in a future episode. For now, thanks for listening. I appreciate your time today. I'm cheering for you. Go out and write that book and get it out into the hands of readers.